What is up, everybody?
Welcome back to Barrel Age Flicks.
Yes, this is a fun one right here. We are getting into our little episodes here where I just have one of the guys. Me and Stu have done a couple. Me and Good have done a couple. And now I have Chase with me. And I let him pick a movie that we can do. So this is probably going to be released. This is probably going to be February, I believe, that this is being released. Either February or March. So
that works.
But yeah, this is something that I'm actually looking forward to because what movie are we doing today?
We're doing Pitch Black.
Yes.
The original badass that released Vin Diesel into everybody's hearts.
Before you got into see, the thing is, everybody thinks of Vin Diesel and they think of Fast and Furious or the Fast and Furious movies.
Yeah.
I can care less about those movies. Some people love them. You know, they can be fun here and there, but I actually enjoy it for his character as Riddick in the Pitch Black.
It was fucking awesome. And, you know, he actually he would sing opera before he got into acting.
Are you fucking serious?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
He was an opera singer
I
up
can't
in New
see
York.
him as an opera singer. That's fucking weird.
He's actually got some pretty good fucking pipes on him.
Remember that fucking thing that we did on the Fifth Element episode where we thought that was the voice for the taxi cab driver?
Yeah, it is him.
Yeah, but we made a whole big argument about
finger.
it. Yeah, I remember that. It sounded exactly like him, and we were looking online, and we were trying to debunk it and trying to figure out if it was him or not. But yeah, no, we're doing Pitch Black, and when I told Chase, I was like, hey, so what movie do you want to do? And he said Pitch Black. I got a hard on. I was like, fuck yeah, man, I love this movie.
It's such a badass movie. And some people were like, oh, and it's, you know, riding on the coattails of Aliens. I can see where you're coming from, but...
Yeah. Well, okay, there are a lot of scenes in it where you can see that they take from Aliens and stuff like that, but really, I think this is more of a character movie.
Most definitely.
I love Riddick, but I also love the bounty hunter. I love even the female that kind of is a bitch and kind of fucked everything up for the whole ordeal.
Fry?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that everything. But before we get into it, we're going to do the details for the movie first, and then we'll get into the drink, which is going to be interesting because I think we've done it before, but you know what?
Interesting, but you know.
I think this is the third time we've done this drink.
Well, you know, that's what happens when you got Old Faithful in the films all the time.
But we've never done it on video before, so
okay. That's its debut.
Yeah, so this is debut.
Much like
on
Vin
video.
Diesel.
Was this his debut film?
This is, well, I wouldn't say it's his debut, but this was his breakout role.
Yeah, because he was in The Fifth Element, The Voice. At least we think it is. We were trying to debunk that. We couldn't figure it out if it was or not. There's still crap online. He was
non-credited. He did it for a buddy of his.
There you go. So then we got that. And then I know he was in Boiler Room. He was in Saving Private Ryan in 1998. He had the small role in Saving Private Ryan, but he really wasn't big yet. And this is, like you said, his breakout role.
Put him on the map.
And then Fast and Furious, the first movie, which is basically just a fucking car remake of Point Break. You know, it's the same exact story as Point Break.
See, Fast and Furious has got this weird thing. Like, I kind of actually want to review that movie.
Which
like,
one? Fast
the
and
original,
Furious?
yeah. Because it's
the original's good. It's just it's a ripoff of a Point Break.
It's a great movie that got so many people into cars, and they're like, "Yeah, this is awesome." And then they rewatch it, and they're like, "What the fuck is happening?" I've been into cars for like 3 years now, and what the fuck is danger to manifold? You know, like
I remember when that shit came out when Fast and Furious came out. I was still in high school, and the movie theaters. Everybody was just showing up in their muscle cars and everything at the theaters when that movie came out.
It reinvigorated the car scene.
The racing scene and stuff like that.
It was fucking cool.
Yeah.
And, it's painful to go back to.
All right, well, here are the details of the movie. The movie Pitch Black was released on February 18th, 2000, which is kind of ironic because this is being released in February. It's a science fiction thriller directed by David. Now, I don't know how to say the name.
I think it's Tui.
Okay, then I'm just going to go by that. David Tui.
It's either Tui or Tauhi.
Well, I think the W is silent, so maybe
I think it is Tui.
Yeah, that's probably what it is. Other movies that he has done, actually, I remember this one, The Arrival. You remember that one?
That sounds familiar.
It's got what's the actor from Wall Street? I can't remember his name. He's been in so many movies. He's the one that got AIDS from prostitutes.
Charlie Sheen?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, Charlie Sheen is in it. I remember that. He had a beard in it too. Pitch Black, he did the movie Below, which I've heard of. Chronicles of Riddick, The Perfect Getaway. And Riddick, he's also screenwrite a lot of films. He screenwrote The Fugitive.
Okay, yeah.
Well, which is a classic. He did Waterworld.
I love that movie. Everybody shits on it. I don't know why.
I do too. Trust me. We even did an episode on it. Were you on that episode? That was our water series, like our first. I don't think you were on that one. That's when Tyler and Lenny were still on the show. Yeah, and also GI. I don't know what that is. I've never heard of that. But Pitch Black's production budget was $23 million. It grossed approximately $53 million worldwide, with about $39 million from domestic and $14 million from international. So it actually was a pretty big hit. It made half its sales right there.
Seriously mixed reviews.
Rotten Tomatoes score of this movie is a 59%. I didn't have the user score. If you can look that up for me, the user score for Pitch Black, because I think it's higher than the critical rating. The actors in this role, we got Vin Diesel as Richard B. Riddick. We got Radha Mitchell as Carolyn Fry. We got Cole Hauser as William J. John, which actually he was in Dazed and Confused, if you guys remember that episode. Claudia Black as Shaza. We got Louis Fitzgerald as Paris P. And we got Rihanna Griffith as Jack B. We got John Moore as Zek, and Simon Burke as Greg Owen.
77% user score.
That's what I thought. It got rotten for critical. That's what I don't fucking understand.
Critics didn't like it because of they felt that a lot of the character development was super cliche. Which,
See, well, when this came out, I remember when this came out because I remember I had the VHS tape. The VHS tape was just blackness. It was like blackness, and you see that basically Riddick's vision, and everything else. It was just a black VHS tape, and I remember seeing this, like I was in high school and everything else, and it was like, it was fun. It was something different. It was very different because it had a lot of different filters for the color. And we're to the point where there was like a green color, or there was like a blue tint and stuff like that.
I feel like the critics really hated that, which, to be fair, I kind of understand that.
I think it's artistic. I think it looked great.
It was very artistic, and it was them trying to reiterate that this was a triple set system having three different stars.
Yeah. Which I think that shot with the planet just rising up,
fucking badass,
beautiful shot and everything else, and you can tell that they filmed this in the desert, but with the filters, it actually made it look even cooler, and it showed like the different, like it was almost like a yellowish tint. Then you had the dark blue tint, which was more for like where it's dim, the sun is leaving. Yeah. I love it, and then it goes into complete blackness.
Yeah, because it was like because they did a very artistic use, because it is, you come into the movie and the first half is just almost washed out.
Yeah. And
then you get this nice gradient, and they really emphasize this change of feeling. The whole mood goes from, okay, no, we got this, holy shit, we're all gonna fucking die.
Yeah.
And it really hits home.
Oh yeah.
They do a really good job of that. And so the first part of the movie, especially when they use like screen skew, and it gives you that kind of woozy feeling.
Oh, in the beginning when the ship's about to crash.
Yeah, and also I get it, but I feel like that was probably a mistake, honestly.
It didn't bother me one bit. This is a sci-fi, and I'm a sci-fi nut. I like sci-fi movies.
I fucking love sci-fi movies.
And I think this is one of the best ones out there. This is a good sci-fi horror, in my opinion. Would you call this a sci-fi horror?
Yeah.
You would call this a sci-fi horror? Because, I mean, it's just basically, animal. It's, like I said, we think it's a rip-off. A lot of people say it would be a rip-off of Aliens.
Yeah, I don't know if I really agree with that. But I get where they're coming from. And I don't know, what they did with the monster design was awesome.
Yeah. And the thing is, the formula that they picked for this movie with the whole thing, and when they went to Chronicles of Riddick, where they went to a whole thing with the, I forgot the doppelgangers, I believe they were called. Was it the doppelgangers?
Necromongers?
I don't know why I said doppelgangers.
Okay.
It's close to it. Necromongers, yeah. But the necromongers and everything else, it went to like almost like fantasy to the point where it's like almost like a Star Wars type of feel. And then a lot of people didn't like that. It didn't do well. So they went back to the same formula where he's stuck on a planet with other.
Yeah. So like this was all graphic novel previously, right?
No, I didn't know that.
Okay. There was an existing storyline before they made it into a movie.
See, I didn't know that. I didn't do any research for this movie, so I figured you wouldn't do that.
Look into it.
But we'll get more into when we get into the review of the movie. I think we're gonna have a lot of good fun talking about this. Other movies to come out around this time. So I got some good ones here. Scream 3, that was okay. The Beach, which I actually is a guilty pleasure. I don't know if you ever seen that one with Leonardo DiCaprio, directed by Danny Boyle. I actually don't mind that movie. You remember Snow Day?
Fuck yeah. I love Snow Day.
Yeah, it's a fun movie.
I came out, I would think I was in middle school, so I was like...
Even though it's got an actor, you fucking hated it. Yeah, Chevy Chase. Yeah. Then you got the Tigger movie, which I'm sure Crystal's a big fan of that one, right?
Oh, maybe.
Well, you like animated movies. It's Winnie the Pooh, the Tigger movie. So
she loves Winnie the Pooh.
Boiler Room.
I don't think I've ever seen it.
That's got Vin Diesel.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's kind of funny that came out the same year. And then The Whole Nine Yards. Bruce Willis as a killer. It's got the guy from Friends. I forgot his name. The one that passed away a couple years ago.
Oh shit!
You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah.
But
I'm totally blanking on his name. He was such a good actor too.
Yeah, he was. The Whole Nine Yards is a funny little comedy with Bruce Willis. It's worth a watch. But those are the movies that came out. So I'm gonna go ahead and hand it off to Chase on. So what are we drinking today?
I was originally just gonna like throw in here fucking moonshine and like instant coffee together because it just feels right.
Blackness.
But I was watching the first film and I was like, oh no, you know what? That's what that damn drink is. That the fuckhead he was just a collector, I think.
You talking about the one with the glasses? The one that
I
want a receipt for that.
I would have killed him as soon as we got out of the fucking.
He was a fucking idiot because he like started running away and just crawling away, and then the light thing.
Yeah, it's people that panic for no reason. Well, I wouldn't say no reason, but panic and just do something stupid instead of helping. I can't stand them.
Although he did have one of the best shots in the movie. When he blows the fire.
Oh, that was so cinematically gorgeous.
Yeah, and then you just see all the fucking the creatures all around him, and they're just about to kill him. It's just like
that was
looking at I'm going to die. But,
honestly, one of my favorite shots in the film. But he's carrying around as a collector, and all these old ancient artifacts, and naturally he has old ancient booze.
Yeah,
which is. Jack Daniel's Tennessee whiskey. That's what they throw all the glowworms into.
Yes.
And so Jack Daniel's saved the day.
I think those glowworms were the babies of the things that were attacking them.
Think so?
I believe that's what they were. I believe that because when it showed a little miniature of them, you can tell. I think it was a little baby one, like little baby. I don't know what the creatures are called. They didn't have a name for them inside the film.
They're bioraptors. There's some designation for them.
Bioraptors. That's interesting.
But Jack Daniels saved the day for these people stranded on an alien world, and quite frankly, I think we can all agree when I say it saved the day for us in the past as well.
Yes, it has.
So
I remember them trying to scrape the Jack Daniels label off and everything else to get as much light as possible by putting all the glowworms in there. All right. Jack Daniels Tennessee whiskey. Not my favorite of the whiskey family. I'm not going to lie.
Jameson guy, right?
I like Jameson. I like a lot of bourbons, but for some reason, Jack Daniels have never reached out to me. And I remember the guys all gave me shit when I was giving the Gentleman Jacka, or the one that we did for Goots episode.
Right.
Not the best review. I still gave it an okay review, but everybody was just like shocked by it.
It smells good.
Sinatra Select. It was Jack Daniels Sinatra Select. That's what it was. So
You know, it smells good. I've never really thought about reviewing it as far as all the notes. It's just whiskey.
you know what I think is I've never had this cold before. I've always had it neat.
Same. But I left this out and outside. And
Oh, so I thought you actually put it. Oh, fuck! I thought you had that in your fridge.
no, this was in the truck.
Oh shit! You have an outdoor refrigerator that kind of work. It's cold. You can feel it through the shot
whole
glass.
countryside's a fucking icebox right now. So
Yeah, we're on the brink of
the worst polar vortex in 80 years, people.
Yeah, we're about to hit a storm. I think we're getting about 9, 10, 12 inches of snow tonight, apparently.
Yeah.
So
And if my heater fails, we freeze to death.
Hey, if I have a generator, I won't have power. I've already had power without a whole week. Without power, like 2 years ago when we had that storm, and that was tough. And I've been trying to get my generator fixed, and so far it's not working. So good luck tonight. Hopefully, no power outage.
Yeah, we should be fine.
Well, you got
Ice
plenty of heat at your
accumulation
place.
seems to have been predicted to be way less than they originally.
No, they said this is wet, heavy snow. That's what I looked at my thing. So I don't know. We'll have to find out. But
We shall see.
anyways, cheers.
Skål.
Trying to remember what my last review of this, but I'm just going to go wing it here. I don't know what it is, but the Jack Daniel's whiskey to me is more of a mix, good for mixing. A lot of people do Jack and Coke. That's like the
what
regular
it's
thing.
for.
Jack and Coke, or I prefer Pepsi. Although I like doing Kraken with Pepsi or something like that. But I don't know. I've just never. I don't like the aftertaste as much. It's just not my favorite. It's an okay whiskey. It's a good introductory whiskey for people. It's a very well-known whiskey. Just not my thing. I give it a 1. It's just not my thing. I've never liked Jack Daniels. I don't ever buy a bottle of Jack Daniels unless I need to for a show or something like that. But other than that,
It's a solid mixer. You can't go wrong with it.
yeah.
It should stay on the shelf. You got buddies over. You want some fucking whiskey? Personally, I have a hard time calling this a proper whiskey.
What do you call a proper whiskey then?
I don't know. Suntory Yamazaki.
Ooh. That shit is good.
Yeah.
That shit was good. That was a good gift from
10 cup, 10 year.
yeah. You brought that for the Crow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was that for the Crow?
Yep.
Was it the 10 year?
For 1010.
Oh shit. Yeah. I remember that. That was good.
Yeah, I guess it's technically whiskey.
But not your go-to. This is more for just
Fuck
a
no.
mixture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want
This
some.
isn't something that you would put in a glass with some raw and just
God,
drink by
no.
itself.
No, this is for shooting or mixing with Coke and calling it a day.
Yeah.
There you go, Pepsi.
I've never been a Coke fan. I'm more of a Pepsi fan. Pepsi is better than Coke in my
But
opinion.
honestly, I'll be real with you. I've never had it chilled like this. And it's ridiculously smooth chilled.
It is. I mean, it's funny because some drinks are meant to be ice cold and some are meant to be neat. I can't see drinking this neat at all. It's not a fan. Ice cold, it's fine. It doesn't I don't hate it, but I don't care. I don't like it either. It's just
You buy this bottle for a job that needs to get done.
exactly. To get you
And
drunk.
you're the job.
Exactly. To get you drunk or to enjoy yourself or make yourself a nice drink. So
Yeah, this is for sad, lonely people or party people that don't want to spend much. It's one or the other. So I'm honestly chilled like this. I'm gonna give it a 1.5.
okay. I mean, see, 1.5 is pretty good.
Yeah, 1.5 thumbs up. There we go.
All right. So yeah, I gave it a 1. I gave it a 1. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
1 thumb up. Yeah. I can't give it any more than that, but I won't give it any less. And drinking it cold is better.
Yeah. I might keep this in the fucking freezer from now on.
You might as well. I mean, you got a full bottle for it. I mean, and plus, price point of these like $20, $25. I believe it's like $25 or something like that. I mean, for a big bottle like that,
I think it was
maybe
like 23.
Yeah. It's affordable whiskey too. If you don't want to go for the high price whiskeys, but you know what, price isn't always the thing. We've we've spent a lot of high dollar whiskeys. Fucking Horse Soldier. We did for Predator.
I'm working on another bottle of Monkey Shoulder right now.
Monkey Shoulder's good.
Blended Scotch whiskey. And
Monkey Shoulder,
at $33 for the bottle.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, it's not bad at all. Yeah, I've actually gained a big taste for Elijah Craig. I love Elijah Craig, especially toasted rye.
They do have some good ones. I'm not a rye fan.
Rye doesn't bother me. I enjoy it. It doesn't bother me.
It's just a little too pungent, I guess would be the word.
Some people, it's not for everybody. No. So. But you're not a big whiskey person altogether, though, are you?
Oh no, this show has thoroughly turned me into a whiskey guy.
Really? Okay.
Absolutely.
Well, were you before that? Were you more of a rum guy or vodka?
Vodka.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Vodka.
Yep.
And you like that fucking vodka you bought for John Wick, I believe.
Yeah, Russian Standard Gold.
Yep.
Fuck yeah, that was some good shit.
Yeah, that was a good bottle.
But I have grown to like Chopin.
Oh.
Chopin whiskey or Chopin vodka is decadent, if you will.
Yeah.
It's delicious.
I actually like a vodka, even though Stu gives shit for it because he says that it's just a fucking name and the fact that they filter it through diamonds. I actually do like Crystal Skull vodka. I don't mind it. I think it's smooth. Have you ever had Crystal Skull?
Yeah, I've had it. It's okay. It's not bad. It's not on par with Chopin or Russian Standard.
No, Russian Standard's better.
Which I was really surprised by the price point on Russian Standard.
What was the price point?
About $40, I thought. I mean,
it's not bad.
Yeah,
I mean that's good for.
I think that was like 35. I don't remember.
Still, that's not bad. Anything under $40 or $50 is pretty normal for a whiskey or a bourbon. Unless you go for the high dollar shit.
Yeah, but it drinks like high dollar shit.
Yeah.
And same thing with a Chopin. It drinks like very high dollar shit.
Yeah.
Of course, you can always, I guess, turn it up if you want to run it through a Brita filter. No, legitimately, if you run vodka through a Brita filter, it goes from a $20 bottle to like a $200 bottle.
Really?
Fuck yeah.
I've never heard anything about that.
Highly recommend. Give it a shot, guys.
Oh, we're going to have to try that. Oh, that's another thing you're going to have to try out sometime. We actually...
The Soda Stream?
We did the Soda Stream with Malort. We did that on the Dust Till Dawn. Oh, yeah, at the beginning of the episode, if you guys go back to our From Dust Till Dawn, it'll be showing at the bottom of the screen, but From Dust Till Dawn episode... we had a gift from our Secret Santa that Adam bought for the show, a Soda Stream that we've been talking about doing it for Malort. So he actually did a bottle of Malort, and he actually said it tasted better.
I've heard that. I've heard it tastes better.
It made it weird. I'm not going to lie. It made it weird. And Stu, he argumented says, oh, we're going to have some fun punishment shots here.
See, that's the thing with Soda Stream. It's weird because it's not quite soda. You don't have... It's just CO2. It's not carbonic acid.
Yeah.
And so whenever you're like, when you get into the chemistry of booze, whenever you drink booze with a soda and the carbonic acid, it actually intensifies the effect of the alcohol. Shit.
Okay, I never heard of that.
So, and then you don't really have that if you're just with Soda Stream.
He was on the show. I think the first 10 minutes of it was going. Like, boy, you're having fun over there. I'm doing the details of the movie, and he's just trying to mess with it. And he was like, he was getting to the point where he was worried about, like, is there supposed to be a cap here? So, dude, yeah, don't blow it up. It's gonna be all over the fucking roadcast. Anyways, that's awesome. That is the first segment of our show. So much fun right there. Yeah. We're gonna go ahead and take a quick break, and then we'll go ahead and get into this fucking movie. I'm excited and pumped about talking about it.
We shall return
later,
in
guys.
The dark.
Hey, having a hard time trying to stay up, trying to record these podcasts late at night?
Or are you up late, working, driving trucks, working in the shop, trying to provide for that damn family of yours?
You need coffee.
Well, let us tell you about this one company we got right here. It's called Coffee Bros. Now, they got a very select blend of different roasts, light roast, medium, dark, espresso. Now, each one of these has its own flavor profile.
These two brothers from New York made this amazing company with an amazing coffee that you could order online.
So you just had the espresso roast?
Yes.
And did that thing wake you up?
I couldn't go back to sleep. Oh, man. It was smooth.
Nice.
It had that nice chocolate taste to it. You can just taste the chocolate.
Mm-hmm. And it doesn't give you that bite like other coffees do.
Or bitter.
No, definitely not bitter at all. This is smooth, sweet, aromatic. This coffee here will absolutely wake you up when you need it to.
The coffee here is dedicated to freshness, quality, and consistency. Use the code BAF10 to get 10% off your entire order. The link for the website is in our show description. And I'm telling you guys, it's worth it. This coffee keeps you awake, especially for the late podcasting that we do.
Yeah, it's very much needed.
Try out Coffee Bros. Coffee Bros!
Welcome back.
Not yet. No.
Welcome back.
He jumped a little too close when we came to our
Jumped the
countdown.
gun.
He said that right at 1. I'm like, no, not yet. Anyways, we are back with our show after doing some little mechanics on my generator for our break time, which is kind of funny.
Oh, young Padawan over here has the right idea.
I'm not a mechanic. I'm learning, and it's a learning curve for me, but I appreciate my buddy here. He's a mechanic, so it helps me out a little bit. But we're going to go ahead and get back into the movie. So we have a sound effect, actually one sound clip for this movie.
Honestly, yeah, because I was thinking about things to pull from this movie to use as like a sample, but nothing else in this movie really just gets everything together like this. And it's right at the beginning, and it gives you this such a good snapshot of this character, Riddick, and what's going on. And I just love how they presented it. So we're going to go ahead and play that now.
All right, here we go.
Good bass. Yeah.
It's not just the bass. Vin Diesel's voice is what makes this movie.
I want a audiobook narrated by him.
Oh, yeah.
They say most of your brain shuts down in cryosleep. All but the primitive side.
The animal side.
The animal side.
I'm definitely hearing that taxi driver.
No wonder I'm still awake. Transporting me with civilians. Sounded like 40 plus. Heard an Arab voice. Some hoodoo holy man.
Keith
Probably
Daniels.
on his way to New Mecca. But what route?
Is it Keith Daniels or is it Keith Richard?
What route?
What's his name?
Smell
Try
the
again,
woman.
buddy.
Oh, fuck.
Sweat.
I'm not getting a punishment shot. Hold on.
No.
I don't remember his name.
Settlers.
Oh, shit. It's
Keith
May only
David.
take the back
Did I say
road.
Keith David? Hey, Keith Daniels was close. It had a D in it, so there you go.
Mr. Johns, blue-eyed devil, planning on taking me back to Slam. Only this time he picked a ghost lane. A long time between stops. A long time for something to go wrong.
See, what's really cool about this is, he talks about how the Johns has been, he finally captured him and he's decided to take a ghost lane, so like not a really well-known form of travel to get him. And then on the special features of that DVD, it has John's diary.
Oh, yeah. No, I remember
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, where it basically has this whole diary from
so
capturing
it's like
him.
60-some days.
Yep, I remember that.
And he talks about how, there was a competing bounty hunter that got fucking eviscerated by Riddick. And, sorry, I took a double of that and I haven't eaten, so I'm kind of feeling it. But
I'll take another shot with you.
I'm not taking another one, motherfucker. I just said I'm feeling it already.
Oh, come on, man. Lightweight.
Yes.
You've been in the show so long. you
Yes,
should be
I
able
am a
to-
lightweight. But he talks about how like he's, it was like a few days into his hunt when he, got shivved in the back by Riddick, and it's been just rubbing on his spinal cord and just sending pain all through him, and he started to get hooked on this painkiller.
Yep. Morphine?
Yeah, they
was like
didn't,
a type of-
they
I think it
didn't
was like-
say it was morphine.
I think it was like
basically.
morphine, basically, yeah.
Um,
He was a
But you like,
druggie.
yeah, you like see his descent from, I'm going after this guy to now I'm fucking hooked on this painkiller because that's the only way I can function.
Yeah.
And it was just nifty going through that little diary,
Mm-hmm.
seeing that development.
They don't do special features like that anymore in
No, it
most Blu-rays and
hurts me,
4Ks
man.
because there's a lot of things where the Alien movies did that, like Alien Covenant, and they basically have little
in
backstories.
4K, there's just so much data on there, you can't really fit it.
Yeah.
Give me another DVD, though.
Yeah, no, but I do remember that. I remember the Blu-ray because I remember I had like the unrated director's cut of the movie and stuff like that, which I'm sure you watch. I think that's available for everywhere.
Yeah.
And it has that little fucking diary, but There's also another prequel thing I played is a game, Escape from Butcher Bay, which is basically how he got his eyes the way they were.
Yeah.
Paid a pack of cools to get his eyes, which I love how he did that. So how do I get eyes like those? You pay a pack
first
of cools.
you kill a bunch of people.
Yeah.
And then you get sent to a slam where you'll never see daylight again.
Yep.
You'll find a doc and give you a shine job on your eyes.
Yeah.
And so it's actually funny because like if you really delve into the lore on here, you find that it's kind of questionable whether or not he's telling the truth there.
Yeah. Well, you see, the thing is, he's the bad guy that you root for.
Yes.
When you think about it,
He's the true anti-hero.
Yes.
Yeah. But like again, going into the lore, it's like, did he really get a surgery to do this? Mm-hmm. Or is that just a trait of the Furians that, like, specifically the alpha males of the Furian race? Because it was mentioned. I forget the guy's name, but one of the necromongers, he talked about how he watched another Furian with shining eyes,
Interesting.
just killing hundreds of necromongers by himself. So it's like.
See now,
Is it really? Did he get a shine job in the slam?
Well, it's in the game. It's in the game, and it has a whole prequel thing. But now watching, we're gonna say it here. They're already filming the fourth movie.
Yeah, we decided to do this movie, and as I was doing research on it, I found that out, and I'm so fucking stoked.
Yeah, there was one picture that I saw from the filming where it's him like in some type of cave or something like that, lifting his hands up, and he's got his goggles on, which I love the fucking goggle look that he's got for his eyes and everything. But the movie's called Riddick, Furia, which is something that's been like teased by Vin Diesel for so fucking long. He's been saying how he's been wanting to do it, and it's finally being filmed.
Well, Vin Diesel fell in love with this character.
Oh no, this is his favorite character. His favorite character.
So anything he can do to get another filming of it and just dive into that lore and expand it for just himself, I wouldn't be surprised if this is like a wholly selfish endeavor for him.
Yeah, and I'm hoping the character, what's the actor that's playing Johnny Cage, the one that's in The Boys? You know what I'm talking about?
Nope.
You've seen the show The Boys, right?
Yeah.
And the new Johnny Cage.
I haven't seen the new ones.
McCoy from the new Star Trek movies. Leonard McCoy.
Oh yeah, he plays Butcher.
Yeah. We'll find it here in a minute. And I can't. He's actually gonna be the new Johnny Cage in Mortal Kombat, but he was kind of the villain because he sent him to the planet in Riddick, the third movie. And I'm wondering if he's gonna be in the fourth movie and a part of the whole thing where he's gonna get revenge on him.
Carl Urban.
Thank you. God damn it! I don't know why I didn't know that name, Carl Urban, though. And he was in Chronicles of Riddick. And he was also in Riddick in the beginning. You remember when he was basically sent down to the planet and everything else? But he kind of sent him down there to die, basically. And I'm wondering if he's going to be in Furia. If he's in Furia, that's going to make me happy because it's going to be kind of like a revenge on that character. But what do you think? I don't know. We don't know anything about it. I know it's directed by David Twohy. We discussed this week, Twohy, right?
Twohy, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm really excited to see it.
Oh, I'm going to see it in the theater.
I'm not making any predictions, man, because they've done a good job. They always keep you guessing. I don't know. I like what they did with him finding another Fury and all that.
Yeah.
I look forward to it.
You look at now if you all right, you've seen when was the first time you saw Pitch Black, by the way?
Oh shoot.
Because I saw it when it came out. I remember I had it in VHS. You being younger, I figured you saw like mid 2000s maybe, or because then you
Yeah, so I saw it in 2000 when it came out.
Really? Okay.
But I saw it on pay-per-view.
And did you see Chronicles of Riddick?
Yes.
In the theater or
DVD.
Okay. See, I saw Chronicles of Riddick on DVD, Blu-ray. It was a completely different type of sequel. They kind of expanded the universe of it.
Yeah.
But then they went sort of to the more Pitch Black style in Riddick.
Yeah, I didn't see the animated one. What the hell was that?
The animated one is the one that takes place between Chronicles of Riddick and Pitch Black.
Yeah, I didn't see that
It's like a 20-minute video.
Probably 2012.
Yeah, that explains because the little girl, which she tried to be like, she was trying to
Jack,
make herself as, and she becomes actually a character and dies in Chronicles of Riddick. But it also the Keith David character is also in Chronicles of Riddick, but he dies in the beginning and stuff like that. But those characters are killed off. But they try to expand the universe, the whole fucking scene. I know we're talking about Pitch Black, but I love all three of these movies. I saw Riddick twice in the theater.
Yeah. I mean, they really walk the line of being like overly macho.
Yeah.
But they still keep it together somehow.
Did you like that dog in Riddick?
Yeah.
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 The dog, the little puppy that he gave.
That shit was cool.
Yeah.
I want one.
It sucked when he died, though.
That's what it was there for.
I know, but I saw it in the theater. I was like, oh, they killed him off. And then
it's supposed to hurt you.
But that guy that got his head cut off. Oh, Riddick is great. So I'm telling you
all
one
of
thing.
it was fantastic.
Yeah, but Pitch Black to me will probably be the best one when you rank all the movies.
Yeah.
We'll probably do a ranking of the three movies depending on the ones, because you saw all three of them, right? So we'll probably rank them. But we're mainly talking about Pitch Black. And Pitch Black is... See, the thing is, in my opinion, Pitch Black wasn't about the Riddick character. It was about all these characters, but the Riddick character was so popular that it's like, oh, we got something going here. We got to make something of this character. I don't think this was planned to be a series of movies. I think this was supposed to be a standalone movie. And
they had
popularity.
hopes. They had hopes of it.
Well,
they didn't expect it to go as big as they did.
No, I didn't. And I think this is more for the underground.
They had some actor that went by the name Vin Diesel that had never been really a big guy. And hey, we made something of ourselves. You know, you can actually still visit the spaceship crash stage.
Are you serious?
In Australia, they left it there.
Really?
Some farmer bought it, and you can still go visit.
The crash stage for Pitch Black, where you see all the pieces of the ship all in the background. That's fucking crazy.
It's pretty cool. And
I didn't know it was filmed in Australia.
Yeah, so it was filmed in Australia. It took 65 days to film.
Okay.
And the desert that they were filming in, you're like, oh, it's a desert. It's Australia. It's going to be fucking freezing.
There's a lot of movies filmed in Australia.
Yeah, but you're like, oh, it's got to be fucking hot. But no, it was like 50 degrees. Yeah. They're sitting there wearing jackets between scenes and all that.
Jesus Christ. I didn't know anything about that.
Yeah.
How about the graveyard, like the alien graveyard where it looked like almost like an elephant, which I loved how they related it to the elephant graveyard on the planet Earth and everything else.
I don't know. I think that was also filmed. I think the entirety of the movie was filmed in Australia.
See, I had no idea about that.
And it was all in this one cut, something petty. I don't remember the name of it. Actually, I got it saved right here. Yeah, maybe I should consult my notes.
We got a little handheld computers. I didn't take any notes for this movie because this was his movie. I'll do it for my movie, but I'm going by you. The fact that you said it was filmed in Australia, I had no idea, but I could see it being filmed in Australia with the whole desert.
Petty.
Okay.
It was a mining town in Australia.
Okay.
Sorry, it was bought by a local businessman after filming, and you can actually see it on Google Maps. But all of it was filmed there. It took 65 days, which is pretty fucking good for a bigger movie like that.
It's about 2 months.
I mean, but it was what 20-some million dollars?
It's not too. I think it was like I think it was like 25 million because it made half its budget. It made half its budget back. Yeah. Or double the amount what it.
It wasn't too shabby, but I think for what they spent on this and the time they spent filming, they came out with a hell of a product.
Yeah. And actually, I'm actually looking at Chronicles of Riddick because I want to see how much of the budget rose because of the popularity of the film. Chronicles of Riddick. Sure. Yeah, Chronicles of Riddick. Let me see. Chronicles of Riddick.
It's funny how many people you talk to and you ask them if they've seen Pitch Black and they don't even know what you're talking about.
Okay, well, you saw 105 million to 120 million for the budget for Chronicles of Riddick.
Yeah.
So it was that much of a hit to the point where they gave that much of a budget.
Significant bump.
But then the budget went down for Riddick.
Yeah.
Which it didn't bother me because I thought, in fact, in my opinion, Riddick is better than Chronicles of Riddick. Chronicles of Riddick, I enjoy. I actually enjoy it. I don't know what you think, but I enjoyed Riddick because it went back to the roots of Pitch Black, being stuck on a planet, battling, and it was him solo going against all these.
It was weird seeing him with a beard.
And also Batista was in that one too.
Oh yeah, that's right. He was the bounty hunter.
Yeah, that's before he actually really got big into his acting roles and started getting little small roles here. I
forgot about that.
Yeah, he's in that. Batista's in that, and also there was a tit shot of an actress in there that I enjoyed too. The one where they tried to add tits to the fucking movie and everything. They made
never go wrong with some titties.
No, I can't complain. The thing is, the funny thing about Pitch Black is it's R-rated. There's an unrated director's cut. Chronicles of Riddick, since they wanted to get more of a box office, they went to the PG-13 route.
Yep.
And then they released an unrated director's cut, but then Riddick went back to its R rating. And if they make Furia PG-13, I will be pissed. It needs to be an R-rated film because, I'm sorry, it's Riddick. He's not a PG-13 character. He's an R-rated character.
No, he was a badass. But I don't know. I really love what they did with the monster design in Pitch Black.
They kind of look like xenomorphs with like fucking.
So it was actually they were designed after it's a fossil salamander that like 120 million year old fossil salamander.
Okay,
called the shovel headed salamander or something like that.
Yeah, with the teeth of a xenomorph though. Because the teeth looked exactly like a xenomorph.
They were independent of the skull and all that. It was badass.
In the blind spot.
Yes, but that's the thing. Like they didn't really have an idea for the monster until they came over to the design studio and they're like, they had filmed everything. They're like, all right, we need monsters in here. What do you got? And they came up with a great design. I think they really hit the nail on the head, and the way they very kind of a throwback to Australia, how kangaroos can sit up on their tail and all that.
Yeah,
they utilized that with the twin tails, and that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I almost seen them as almost like flying, like almost gargoyles with the wings and everything.
Yeah, I could see that.
But also, what I loved about it is it had the POV shot of what their vision was, which was like black and white.
Yeah.
But then when Vin Diesel, Riddick's character, was going over to a skeleton of one and putting the two together because the eyes are like all the way at the end, basically almost like a amphibian and something like that. And he was like looking at it, it was like blind spot. Like he knew
that was a good little foreshadow.
Yeah, and I enjoy that because then he actually finally battles one, and then he just slashes the fucking stomach of the thing and just all the guts pouring out. I thought it was great. He's a fucking badass character. Like he's
didn't know who he was fucking with.
Yes, and I love that part where Johns puts his gun to him. And then you just see Vin Diesel with his fucking knife and just tapping it on his crotch.
Tap.
That was great. I
still has the smirk on him the whole time.
Yep.
Like, Jesus, man, you know what you about.
No, another favorite shot of mine is when it's like, "Where's Riddick?" and everything else, and they because that guy killed the last survivor that was trying to that said, "Oh, you came up," that was walking from the crash. And he shot the guy.
Yeah.
And then you see a back shot of Vin Diesel just sitting back in a chair.
I love that little
just
cut.
like taking a drink of whatever he was drinking.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, in the background. And then you got that fucking the little girl.
I will say,
Jack.
I loved that shot, but it was so out of character for the rest of the film.
I don't think so. I felt like it was technically perfect.
The style of shoot that was. It was like you had two different directors of cinema, or of cinematography, and they just couldn't agree. And so you really saw like two different personalities in filming style throughout the movie.
Yeah,
and I can appreciate that, but it felt weird.
Oh,
you know. Yeah. But I really did like how they I feel like they didn't touch enough on how they were attracted to blood. They definitely, they confronted the situation
with Jack.
Yeah,
basically having her period, basically.
Yeah, and it was a nifty throw out, but that's exactly what it was. It was kind of a throw out idea.
Yeah,
and if I felt like they kind of
could have weak rating.
I think they had a great idea and they failed to utilize it further because they could have made some badass shit out of that. You know, like for instance, John's. It was a great little final fight, great little kill, but would have been fantastic if all Riddick did was slice him up on his arms or something, and then just fucking Spartan kick him into an area.
Basically,
and
like use that all the blood and everything for all those creatures to come for him.
It would have been phenomenal.
Although
they did use him as bait.
I know, but that shot where you see the creature, what do you call him again?
They're bioraptors.
Okay, the bioraptor, where it just sees the head just go down and just go right on his head, and just take his head out. Basically,
fucking awesome kill.
Yeah, that's a great shot. I mean, this movie, I wouldn't say it's a gory film. There's some.
It really isn't.
No,
oddly enough, it totally could have been. Totally could have been.
I technically can see this being PG-13. I think it's more of the language that really makes it R rating. But it's really not that. It's not scary. It's not scary at all. This is sci-fi, and this is some stuff that I love.
It's a sci-fi monster flick.
Yes.
Yeah.
But See, that's what I'm trying to figure out.
But that's
Is that what they were going for?
Which
in the
one
first
is the
place?
monster? Is it him or is it the creatures?
I see the creatures are just creatures. They live on the planet. They already killed most of the life on the planet, depending on basically when the planet goes into an eclipse and whole darkness on the planet. How many days did she say that the planet goes into darkness?
They never said.
Yeah, because I remember they had
were
that
like,
whole.
It could be a day, it could be months. Who knows? The best you get is a lasting darkness.
Yeah.
And so.
God, I love talking about this movie. I love this movie. Yeah. I love this movie so much. And when Chase picked this movie, I just sat down. I even sent him a picture and a text. I was like, watch this movie. I fucking love this movie. I was like, I'm so glad you picked this. And
this is one of my like.
I didn't know you liked this movie.
Oh, I fucking love this movie. This is one of my first dives into sci-fi that I was like, oh yeah. I was probably 8.
Oh, damn. See,
I think I was 7 or 8 when I saw this.
See, I was like 17, 18 when I saw it. It came out in 99, I believe. Like I put in the
2000.
date. 2000, 99, 2000. Yeah. So I was actually between junior and senior year of high school. So, and seeing this, I remember watching it and loving it, buying the VHS. And then I've watched it through the years. And then when I saw the Chronicles of Riddick, I was like, oh, okay. They're expanding on the universe. Watch Chronicles of Riddick. I was like, that was okay. And then watching it over and over again throughout the years, I've claimed to enjoy it even more.
It grows on you.
It does.
It gets better every time.
But then when Riddick came out, I was like, I am seeing this shit in the fucking theater.
Oh, yeah.
And I saw it in the theater. I loved it so much, I saw it twice. And I don't see movies twice that much. It's very rare. I think I've only seen Shutter Island twice. I've seen the Gangs of New York, Aviator, because I'm been Martin Scorsese flick. But I saw this twice, and I'm gonna fucking see Fury. I mean, shit, me and you should go see and do a hot take on it.
Oh, I'm down.
Let's do a hot take
down.
on that. I mean, I think that would be fun after being a good sequel to this episode, the hot take from Chase and Ron on Fury. I think that would be fun.
Yeah.
But the movie is just, it's so much fun, and I fucking love it. All right. What do you think of Carly character? Is it Carly or
Carla?
is it Carla?
I don't know. I know who you're talking about.
What did you think of her altogether? Because she didn't care about the crew, and she was willing to kill the crew.
No.
For her
I
own
mean,
life.
she was what, 13, 14, and immediately fell in love with.
No. I'm talking about the second in command.
Fry.
Yeah, Fry.
Okay,
That's what it is.
sorry. Jack
Jack
in
is
the
a little
second
girl. Yeah.
was Carla or something like that.
Was it Carla in the second one? It's been a while since I've watched Chronicles of Riddick, and now I'm going to watch Chronicles of Riddick and Riddick probably this weekend after doing this review, because now I want to finish the trilogy again. I have the actors right here. Let's see. We got Cole Hauser as William. We got Keith David. We got Claudia Black as Shaza, which I love that Australian chick.
Kyra. That's what I was thinking.
Was it Kyra?
Yeah, but Jack was turned into Kyra when she got.
So Kyra, you're close.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And she dies in Riddick.
Yeah,
the Chronicles
but
of Riddick.
Fry was.
I didn't care for her. I thought she was stupid.
No, I liked her. Because she was
willing to kill the crew for her own life.
Absolutely.
And that's why
they're
Riddick,
asleep already. Fuck them.
I understand that, but that's the whole reason why Riddick, like, that was the only part of the movie that bothered me, is when Vin Diesel was like, not for me. Not the way he yelled it.
So this is what happens, okay? So the opening scene, it's the crash. First of all, I want to address when that windshield breaks, she should have been vaporized by the plasma.
Yeah.
But
it's
storytelling.
sci-fi. It's sci-fi, and it's Hollywood, and it's a movie, so you got to check that out.
So yes, you're
Can't
crashing.
go to reality in this one.
You're the only ones awake. Everybody else is asleep. You need to land this ship, and you know what? You're the one that can fly it. So fuck them. I am absolutely jettisoning all of my passengers if that's what it takes.
Yeah.
And that was the situation. But
the other captain, he was the captain.
Right. He's all, goody
So we have a responsibility for these
yes,
crew.
But I'm also responsible for myself. And at this point in time, if I don't jettison them, no one's going to make it. So, what was it? The train problem.
Train problem.
There's a psychology experiment, and it's the trolley problem.
Okay.
If you have two sets of tracks, and you have an old grandma on this one, and you have a family on this one, who do you choose to kill if you can only change the direction of the trolley?
Interesting.
And it's like a very simple, very kind of unrealistic experiment on your sociopathy and shit like that. Yeah. But at the end of the day, you save as many people as you can. Mm-hmm. And if you have to sacrifice some to save more, save at least one,
I can agree with that.
That's what I'm doing.
But I felt like what she was doing is she was going to kill everybody to save herself.
Yes.
So, in my opinion, she was terrified. She was worried that she was going to lose her life. So she's going to kill everybody else so she can live. Mm-hmm. But then she made that
if she
change.
had pulled that and separated, then they
because
probably
the captain's saying, "Do not separate it. Do not pull it."
Yeah, if she had separated that passenger cabin, they probably would have landed a whole lot better, and had at least part of the ship that was intact, shit like that.
But they survived. There was a couple people that died. I remember that fucking shot where the fucking back of the ship was torn out, and you just see them like
it was just
dangling
miles
and everything else.
Yeah.
And you see people falling out. Kind of reminded me of a scene in the movie Alive. I don't know if you ever seen that about the soccer team that got stuck in the Alps. And the plane went down. I actually just watched it recently. It's actually a really good movie. But it kind of that scene right there in a sci-fi vision, seeing somebody just flying out and just crew being pulled out into the basically the wreckage. Alive, they had the same thing where you just see all the people sitting in the chairs just flying out in the back.
Yeah.
It was almost like an exact shot, like recreation from Alive into that, but that one's more,
It's a visceral reaction. Of course, you're going to shoot that in different shows.
But then
but here's the thing, he was hiding within the skeleton of this creature, and Johns approaches Fry while she's sitting there leaning against him. Against the skeleton, and he's about to fucking rip her apart.
Yeah.
And he's listening to the story. I heard you were going to kill everyone. And he doesn't kill her because he realizes this is someone who's willing to take the necessary sacrifices to survive.
Right.
If anyone here is going to make it out, it's going to be her. So I'm not getting rid of her. That's what that was. And instead, he just... her hair smells so good. Like that's what happened there.
Yeah.
To the end, so now he's found another character that he identifies with.
Yeah.
And can really respect. And then he goes back, and now she's willing to let herself die to save these people. That's why I'm like, this is so very interesting.
She went back to go save Riddick. Because they were at one point, even Keith David was like saying, "Come on, let's go."
Right,
he's done for.
He's from this upbringing where it's you fight to survive. Anyone that's going to impede that, get rid of them.
Yeah,
and it's a very cut and dry thing for him. Now he's identified with Fry. He can relate to her, and then she makes this out of character to him. He doesn't really grasp the concept of, she was willing to sacrifice fucking 80 people.
Yeah.
And now she wants to go back for 2 more and risk her life for it. Interesting. Let's see how this plays out. Right. So they go and do it. And he's like, okay, cool. I kind of admire this bitch. She goes kind of hard.
Yeah.
And on the way back, shunk. And that's where you see this turning point of Riddick, where, not for me, because he has this, survive at all costs, but he's
got a heart.
Yeah, at the same time, now he's developed this idea that maybe I'm not the most valuable person in my life right now.
Right.
And so he has this difficulty grasping that not for me. You're not supposed to die for me. This isn't that wasn't the agreement.
Well, okay, you remember that scene when Jack was stuck underneath the rib cage, not the rib cage, the spine of that skeleton, and one of the creatures was on top, banging his head, trying to get in there.
Yeah.
And Riddick was just still running off with the batteries to get to the ship. And you're thinking that Riddick is just going to keep going because he turns his head. He's like,
oh, he was about to, but he was starting to grow that heart.
That's what I'm saying, and that's what I love about this character because he's not just he anti-hero. Basically, he's bad. But he's got a heart and he does care.
Yeah, he's got a soft spot for kids, man.
I think he also has a soft spot for good people. I don't think he has. I think he has a like he can care less about Johns. He wanted to fucking kill him no matter what. In fact, that part when Johns and him are walking and says, "So who are we going to do? What are we going to kill here?"
Because, I love that.
Yeah, and it says, stop talking so loud and everything else. I was enjoying that little conversation between them.
The banter.
And but then they went against each other and started fighting each other, and you knew that Johns was going to lose. Riddick was going to beat this fight no matter what. And they've had their chemistry between each other and how the hatred between each other was great.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that Johns was giving him a chance to live in the first place, but he was basically using him to survive because he knows that he's a powerful character.
Yes.
So there's a lot of great things about this movie that this is such a good movie. I love this.
And it shows a group of people overcoming adversity and monsters and bullshit. But what I like is you see this cold, calculating individual, Riddick.
Yeah.
Evaluating the character.
John B. Riddick? Is it John B. Riddick or
Richard B. Riddick?
Richard B. Riddick. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
But you see him evaluating the character attributes of each one of these individuals, and you see him like prioritizing. You're worthless. You bring something to the fight. Okay. You're actually kind of badass, but you're a dickhead. So we're going to keep you around. But if it comes to it, fuck you. And then, whoa, this kind of bad bitch over here is like laying it down. She could... Why are you sacrificing what's going on now? And he gets all confused and has this big change of heart. And then this kid obviously admires him and is like, all right, cool. Now I got a protege.
Yeah.
And they fly off in the sunset and do all this. And now you have the animated film, which I thought was a lot of fun. I think
it was called Dark Fury, I believe.
Yes, Dark Fury.
Dark Fury. Yeah, I saw it way it's been I'm sure it's on YouTube or something like that because I tried to find a Blu-ray of it so I can have the whole collection.
It's on the DVD disc
for
the original.
For the Pitch Black.
Yeah.
I didn't have it on my version or something like that. So cuz I remember it came out when Chronicles of Riddick came out because it's kind of like a precursor.
Right.
It's a between story between that to the point where how Keith David got dropped off at the planet and everything else because he goes back there because Keith David's in Chronicles of Riddick and also Jack or Kyra and everything else, and she's older and she's in the prison and everything else. But the fact is
you really just kill him with a coffee mug, teacup.
It was good for what I remember. Like I said, it was one of those things. It reminds me of Animatrix. Where Animatrix was like a precursor
had the
to
same
Matrix.
Feel.
Yeah, so that's basically
at least
what
one
they
of
did.
the stories had. I think it was actually the same animator.
Actually, I was just about to say that. I think it is from one of the same animators. And that's actually one anime I don't mind. I actually like the Animatrix.
We're gonna have to get you on.
Well, you already talking about doing a foreign film and it's gonna be an anime. You're more than welcome to it. You can do an animated one if you want to. It's got as long as it's got subtitles. That's all that works.
I don't know. I just feel like I need to force you to watch like Hellsing Ultimate or something like that.
I've never even heard of it.
Oh. And you're like, cartoons are for kids.
No, there's Beavis and Butthead Do America. I like that.
Okay,
that's a cartoon but that's not anime. I understand that. That's more like
anime is for kids. Is his idea.
I've never liked anime. I've never been a big anime fan. My wife and kids are.
I'm gonna get you on Hellsing Ultimate, and you're gonna be like, "Holy fucking shit! He just ripped him in half! Oh, this is badass!"
Well, I know anime gets really into the dark material, and there's always even what's that fucking anime that's like porn? What's it called?
All right, you just named a category that's got thousands.
No, there's actually a anime porn, and I forgot. It's like a
thousands
for a genre name for the name of it.
An anime.
So it's like technical porn, basically, or something. Like that.
An anime that is porn. There are literal thousands. You have Fruits Basket. Is like your kind of first intro. What do you? It was
hentai porn.
Yeah, that's
hentai.
That's what it's called. Hundreds of thousands.
I know, but that's what it's called. I think it's called hentai porn.
Yes, that is porn. That is anime.
The Japanese are perverted. Sorry.
Yes,
I mean they are. I don't think they hide it.
They are facing a literal population issue because everyone's addicted to porn over there.
But it's fucking edited too. It's fucking
and they can't even see the goodies.
No, you can't. That's the thing. You can't see shit right there. Why am I talking about this? This is making me look bad.
You know what's hilarious? The North Korean soldiers that are fighting in Ukraine right now, they've all become addicted to porn because they've had their first taste of the internet now. They're like complaining because nobody's being able to fight because they're all just, oh yeah.
All right. Well, on that note, we're gonna take a quick break and we will be right back.
Hey there, it's the Barrel Age Chicks. I'm Sammy.
I'm Snow.
I'm Crystal, often called Mouse, and I'm here too.
And then we also have Yen and Harley, who sadly are not with us, but that's okay. We're here to talk to you about our podcast. Woo! Tune in because it's a lot of fun, and you get to hear the chick side of things.
You're gonna BS about movies and drinking and life and momming.
Lots
and
of laughing. Lots of laughing.
I laugh,
But it's great. Yes.
we have finished our first season.
And we're starting our second season.
Good Lord.
2024. Here we come.
I know. Enjoy it. Join us on all of the platforms.
Hear them talk and me listen.
You talk.
You can find us on Instagram and Facebook.
Pretty much anywhere you can hear voices on a phone.
And yeah, so give us a follow. Check us out.
Watch us give Ron aneurysms.
It's the best part.
And thanks for listening. We will talk to you soon.
And we are back. And also, I have to thank my buddy Chase here. So on our break, we went to go check out my generator, and we got the fucker started. So I thank you, Chase, for this. So we're taking a little celebration shot. Probably everybody's going to think this is corny as fuck, but I don't give a fuck. Because I'm happy because I might have power tonight in case I lose power. So salute. Monkey shoulder scotch.
Blended Scotch whiskey.
Yes.
Oh, that's some good shit.
Yeah, that is good. All right. So we're getting close to the end of this episode. The one thing that I wanted to talk about is basically our favorite characters. But anybody with this movie would probably pick their favorite character being Riddick.
Yeah.
So let's pick a character that's not Riddick. There's a lot of characters. You got the Collector. You got Kyra. You got Jack. You got that Australian chick. And also the other
Kyra
Australian.
is Jack.
Yeah. Kyra and Jack. All right. Then I'm thinking
Fry.
Fry. Thank you. Fry. You got the Australian chick, and you also got the other dude that killed that survivor.
Yeah.
Fucking idiot. But he thought it was Riddick. So, I thought it was Riddick. Couldn't find him, and you see that shot with him
What
drinking.
a hell of a thing to live. I mean, I guess he didn't really live with it too long.
It sucked. He was like, I survived. Boom. I was like, what the fuck? He just shot him dead. You just see.
I thought I was the only one. Well,
yeah. It was interesting. So, who is your favorite character other than Riddick in this? Who did you enjoy the most?
honestly, I got a lot of favorites in this.
Really? Okay.
John's is not one of them. But I would have to go between Fry and Jack.
You like Jack?
I do.
She shaved her head and put the goggles on. Like, it was kind of funny.
But see, Jack is all of us. Jack is every one of us when we were younger, and we saw fucking John Wayne. We saw the Terminator.
Good point.
We saw
Good point.
Bruce Willis in Die Hard. It was, there's an action hero right in front of me. I'm gonna be that guy.
Yeah.
I mean, you're a little kid, you tie a towel around your neck because I saw Superman last week, and Superman is cool.
Yeah.
I love Jack.
Yeah.
It's so genuine of a childlike character that they really expand upon and make her into this, you see in the next movie, she actually went through with it. She didn't just, it wasn't a childlike wonder that sparked for 3 weeks.
Right.
She found this guy that was an absolute badass and saved her life and kicked ass in front of her. And she embodied that. She really made that, this is who I am. Yeah, she got arrested. Maybe she did a bunch of illegal shit.
Yep.
Okay, and at the end of the day, she was true to what she wanted to be. And this event that this movie's all about really was it was a core memory,
Yeah.
It was this turning point for her, and I thought it was really fucking cool.
The question is, did you know that she was a girl in the beginning? Because you could see it with the voice and everything else. You could tell that it was a woman or a girl. Yeah. Did you see that when you first watched the movie? Because I saw it. It was like you could just tell. And then,
They did a really good job of projecting androgyny.
thanks for saving our dicks.
Yeah, and see, that's what I mean. Like, they did a really good job of projecting androgyny onto this character until he shaved his head. Okay, no worries. And then I thought it was really well done on the score when it was right before they were headed out from the crash site.
Yeah.
and he said something about, keep in mind these things can smell blood, and then the tone changed and the camera shot lingered on Jack for just a half a second. And you're like, oh, wait a minute.
Yep.
And, I thought it was a really cool, not often used tool in this cinematic arsenal.
Yeah.
So I have to say, as far as a complex character, one of the characters that really, grabs you because it's not something you really see ever in a movie, and it also captures that childlike wonderment.
Yep.
And is an embodiment of what would you have become if that one time you saw John Wayne when you were like 6 years old and you just never let go of it. How much of a badass would you be?
Good
and
point.
then the next movie, you see her and she's a fucking badass.
It sucks though, I do recommend you need to watch all three movies, but it does suck in the second one. Just watch it and you'll see what happens to her and everything else. But you can tell that Riddick really did care for this, for Jack. Yeah,
Absolutely.
And that's the thing I love about Riddick is that he's an anti-hero. He's a villain. He's a bad guy, but he's a bad guy with heart. And I think he hates people that are bad people.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's a bad person, but he hates bad people. But he will have
Listen, in the military, they have a saying. All right, we kill people that kill people because killing people is bad.
Right.
That's Riddick.
There you go. That works. I'm gonna go on a limb here and say that my favorite was John's. I actually enjoyed
What the
John.
fuck, man?
I enjoyed John, even though he was a druggie and he was kind of like a
just a
kind of an
douchebag.
asshole. Yeah, douchebag, asshole, basically, and everything else. But I really enjoyed his story, and like the thing you talked about where there's the diary of him.
entries.
Of
Yeah, it was
him
cool.
hunting Riddick and everything. And then the funny thing is, in Riddick, the father comes for revenge. Riddick, the third movie, that's John's father.
Yeah.
And I think that was really cool how they expanded on the story from the first movie, how they brought
And how
back.
he was like just so much better of a man than John's ever
And
was.
he realized it because Riddick was trying to tell him that he wasn't a good person. He was a druggie. He was not a good person. And then he changed the mind, and then they became sort of friends, and they, escaped the planet and everything.
Yeah.
God, Riddick is such good. Seriously, after this, when you roll out, I'm going to watch Chronicles of Riddick and Riddick now because I feel like finishing it now because I just love those movies.
Yeah.
But no, I enjoyed John's character. I thought that he was a good. What's the thing when you say like a somebody opposite from Riddick, or they're both hated characters. I mean, they're both
He's an
bad guys.
anti-hero.
They're both. You wouldn't say John's is an anti-hero though.
John's.
Would you call him the villain of this movie, or you think he was just not a like his character was more of a he made bad choices, being a druggie and stuff like that, but he was a bounty hunter, and there's bounty hunters in all the other 2 and 3 movies. I mean, that's like the main thing about these movies is bounty hunters hunting Riddick and stuff like that.
Was chaotic neutral.
Okay.
Because he really didn't give a shit about anybody else.
No, he didn't.
He gave a shit about the paycheck.
No, he was willing to kill everybody else and go with Riddick and everything else. Is who should we kill?
But he wasn't entirely evil either.
I wouldn't say he's evil. I'd say he's selfish.
Yeah.
Selfish.
Absolutely selfish. That's why
Yeah.
I say he'd be chaotic neutral.
Yeah.
Because he was in it for everyone to make it off of the planet as long as he was one of those people.
Yeah. Yep.
And all he cared about was the paycheck at the end of the day,
Right.
and just did not give a shit about the judgment of somebody because he's using drugs.
Yeah.
He just was unbothered with the propriety of society.
Yeah.
As far as would he be the villain?
Who is the true villain in this movie? It's a good question to ask on this. Who is the true villain? Because I don't think it's
villain is is none of the characters.
because when you think of aliens, the villain's not the aliens.
True villain of this movie
No.
is
Compare
the
it to
drive to survive.
Okay, I can see that.
Because without that individualistic drive to survive,
Mm-hmm.
everyone would have worked together without any question.
Right.
but an individualistic drive to survive is what caused chaos and a breakdown of the group.
Okay.
And caused the deaths of almost everyone that you saw on screen.
It's a good point. Good point, Chase.
So it is human desire for success.
Yeah.
And selfishness. I can't say it's any one of the characters.
You say it better than I would say it, trust me. All you guys are better with the words than I am. My words are always jumbled up and everything else, but I try and say I have a passion, but I don't say it as right. But with the way you said that, perfect. Chef's kiss. There you go.
Appreciate that.
But no, seriously, this is a great movie. I'm so glad that you picked this one. This was so much fun to talk about. I'm looking forward to
this movie for so long.
I'm looking forward to our next episode with Ron and Chase. Seriously, with doing another movie here. Now, I'm going to pick the next movie. I'm still on the bend on what I'm going to pick. But this was great. So I guess we're going to go ahead and do you have anything else to talk about this movie, or are you pretty much ready for pilot reviews?
No, I think we covered it. Yeah,
I think we covered it. All right, so I'll go first because, of course, this is your episode, so you're the finale. For my enjoyment for this movie, like I said, I'm a sci-fi nut. I love sci-fi movies. I love the Riddick character. I think Riddick character is one of the best sci-fi characters out there in sci-fi history. There's a lot of many, like the Blade Runner from Harrison Ford, and you got Minority Report. You got so many great characters, but the Riddick character being the anti-hero, he's so enjoyable to his presence on the screen. I enjoy his voice, his dialogue. I think his acting is great in this.
I really couldn't see anyone else doing this
character. No, I can't. I can't see it, and that's the thing. And I think the Furio movie is going to be more fan service more than anything.
Yeah, and I appreciate that. I'm okay with that.
That's fine. I will see it. I'm a fan of these movies, so I will see this movie. I'm going to watch the next two movies tonight. Now it's going to be my
marathon tonight.
Yeah, I'm doing it. I already watched Pitch Black. I was like, fuck it. I was going to watch it. I was going to try and do Stu's ideas. Like, fuck, I'm going to watch the second and third one, but I didn't have time because life happens and things going on and stuff like that. But now I'm here by myself tonight. I'm like, I'm watching Chronicles of Riddick, and I'm watching Riddick tonight. That's what I'm going to do. You
can get you a little popcorn, too.
Yeah, oh, yeah. Popcorn or some fucking... Awesome. Gets a glass of bourbon and enjoy the movies.
Dude, if Riddick... I know, like, the new fan service thing to do is create, like, your novelty popcorn bucket. Dude, what do you think this will be? I kind of hope it's an upturned Necromonger helmet.
Those are cool.
Like, that would be cool as shit.
The Necromongers look interesting. They look very weird. I also remember there was a lot of great actors. It's a fun movie.
Yeah.
My favorite scene in that movie, though, you know what? We'll talk about our favorite scene real quick before we get into Pine Reviews.
Okay.
Favorite scene in the thing was when they're trying to beat the sun. That whole scene when they're leaving the prison planet and the sun, because
that was a lot of fun.
Everything burns up and everything else, and that was just a really cool scene. And also seeing them hunt Riddick down. He's got like the full beard and everything, the long hair and everything. It was like, wow, I wouldn't think Riddick looking like that.
The opening capture scene, for Chronicles.
So, what is your favorite scene in Pitch Black?
Real quick one. It's maybe 10 seconds. Favorite scene, hands down. I don't even know what the fucking his name is, but the collector of
when he dies.
Yes.
Oh, the scene we talked about earlier.
Yeah, when he rolls off into the sand, he's alone, and his fire goes out, and he goes, "Huh."
Just takes the tusk of his whiskey, and then just
he drinks that down. You just see the monsters around. God damn.
It's like, yep, he's gonna die, but that was just that fire scene because they
that was just so visceral, you know? And it was an embodiment of what goes bump in the night.
Yeah. That's a good one. And also the fact that we never talked about that is that the creature's light actually hurts them. It's actually that's why the movie's called Pitch Black.
Because you could see them kind of retreat just a little bit because it wasn't bright enough.
Oh, we got light. Oh, light's gone. Time to chow down. Try to eat this guy. So no, that was great. That's a good scene. God, I almost wanted to pick that scene, but I have to pick a scene with Riddick, and I would, believe it or not, the scene that you thought that wasn't something that you thought it would be from a different director was a scene when the guy gets shot.
When it cuts down to him?
And he's just like sitting back. He's just like, open the bottle, just take an aggressive.
Honestly, that is so Riddick.
I love it though. I love that scene. I thought it was
just
great.
Calm cool and collected, and that's how he survived.
And he even has his legs like crossed and everything, just sitting back and just chugging down on the fucking whiskey and everything. Oh,
that
great
fancy
scene.
bitch is out of here. I'm going to enjoy his fucking scotch from like 200 years ago.
But Riddick steals the movie in this. Steals this every scene in this movie, in my opinion. Every scene that had Riddick, and that's why I believe that this movie gained so much popularity because of that character to the point where it.
But see, that's the thing. I haven't met too many people that are like, "Oh, Pitch Black, it's fucking awesome."
Which is
I'm
crazy.
Like, you ever seen Pitch Black? They're like, "I've never heard of it."
Did you ask him? Have you ever seen Chronicles of Riddick? And people would probably be like, because that one was a flop when it came out.
Yeah. So, but I don't know, man. Like for so long, I remember thinking about like it was like years and years that I was like, gosh, there was this really cool movie with Vin Diesel and a spaceship and it crashed. And I couldn't remember what the fuck it was. And I asked like 8 different people. I couldn't
nobody's
figure it
ever
out.
heard of it.
And then I finally, it's Pitch Black. I was like back in 2009. I finally figured out, it's Pitch Black. So I bought the whole DVD, the trilogy set, and now every once in a while I'll come by somebody that's never heard of it, and I'm actually close enough. I'm like, okay, you're coming over, and we're gonna watch this on the big screen.
Nice marathon.
Yeah.
And you got your nice little big screen that goes on your wall with your little projector.
Dude,
and
I got
everything.
like a 240-inch fucking projector wall. Yeah, it's dope.
Yeah, I don't have that. I have the surround sound though.
Listen,
I have the really good surround sound.
I don't have surround sound, but I did get a JBL Party Box 210.
Yeah.
A big ass fucking. It's about this tall.
Okay.
And it's supposed to be like an outdoor party speaker. Nah. I use it outdoors too because it got a rechargeable like 8-hour battery. But also, I wired it in so I can hook up the bass to that speaker, and I throw it behind the couch, and so you get the rumble.
See, that's the thing. I have the 5.1 sound. I got the subwoofer right behind you. Actually,
Yeah,
right behind you. And there's a speaker right there. There's a speaker right there and sometimes I have a movie on, and I'm Sammy and the kids are upstairs sleeping because I'm up at midnight watching. It says. Sammy's calling me on the phone and says, "Can you please turn that down?" Because I'm always watching.
No, it's cool.
You gotta listen with this shit. Playing Mortal Kombat, playing games on my
yeah.
PS5 with the surround sound. But
honestly, I'm really looking forward because Crystal's family has been very gracious, and we are living in like a little guest house.
Yeah.
So thankfully, we don't have next door neighbors that are in an apartment kind of deal.
Yeah.
We need to do whatever. But man, we're looking to buy a house, and I'm getting one of the love sacks that have like the built-in subwoofer in the seat.
yeah.
And I'm
To the point where you're feeling that rumble.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, that's fucking
I want to
awesome.
be shaken out of the sofa. All right. So looking forward to that.
Oh shit! All right, well, I'll get back to my pipe. We picked our scenes. This is great. Enjoyment for me is a 5. This is a 5 for me. Like I said,
enough.
when it comes to sci-fi, this is an amazing film. I have so much fun with this. The Riddick character, the tone of this movie, the sci-fi being out in space.
Are you rating the trilogy or are you rating just this?
No,
film?
just Pitch Black.
Okay.
Because Pitch Black
I
is
just
the only
wanted
one.
to make
No,
sure.
if I did the trilogy, because Chronicles of Riddick is great, but it's not a 5. Riddick is close to a 5.
Yeah.
I think Pitch Black is the number 1. I think I'll do a ranking. We'll do a ranking of the films. You've seen all 3 of them, right?
Yep.
So we'll do the ranking with our pint reviews.
I don't remember them well enough to do that.
For a ranking?
Mm-hmm. I would put them all at the same.
Okay. I can rank them though. Chronicles of Riddick would be number 3. Pitch Black is number 1, and Riddick is number 2. Riddick is number 2. Riddick comes close because
Rick was the last one to come out, right?
Yes, that was the last one to come out. That's the one with Batista. That's when he's stuck on the planet with the dog and everything else. Where he that alien dog basically that he had.
Yeah,
which
I don't remember that
fucking
well enough.
Dude, it's worth it. Watch it. Shit, do a marathon. Watch it tonight now. You should. It's just Crystal seen these?
This was the first time she's ever seen Pitch Black.
So she watched it with you. What did she
Yeah,
think? She a fan?
Meh.
Really?
She's not big into action movies.
No, she's not into comedies either.
Yeah, she's an interesting character.
Hey, you know what?
I love her to death.
She's brought up
She's like, romance and comedies make me want to puke. I'm like, okay, cool.
but she opened my world to As Above, So Below.
And it's a badass movie.
I even bought it, a Shout Factory Collector's Edition. I have to show you the poster
Yeah.
that came with it. I want to show it to Crystal because I think she would really love it. But I actually love As Above, So Below now more than when I first saw it. Because when I first saw it, I
really
hated it.
fucking cool.
It grows on you.
It really does.
It grows on
Yeah.
you. And Crystal with that episode, an amazing episode. If you guys check that out, it's at the bottom of the screen. As Above, So Below. an amazing episode. That was Crystal's debut on Barrel Age Flicks, and she did such a good job, and she changed our minds to the point where Ragnar was like, I'm so confused for that and everything else. But it was great. But for critical for this movie, I probably give it about a 4. Because there's some parts that I can say that aren't the best. Some of the direction, the acting doesn't bother me so much. But there was a couple dry parts here and there, but not so much to the point where it would take it down to me.
No, like
It's not
I
a
would
perfect
genuinely
movie.
say that there are some parts in this on the line delivery from Vin Diesel himself that are just way overboard.
Well, that's why I go back to that scene where he says, not for me. The way he said it, the way they filmed it, just the sound, I just didn't like it.
Like,
It bothered me for
even
some reason.
some of the most badass lines.
Yeah.
Didn't know who he was fucking with.
It was
Kind of jumping the shark there, bud.
well, he gets better through time. I think his
does.
best acting is actually in Riddick. I thought Riddick was, because that was more solo. That was more just him.
Yeah.
And it's also another genre of movies that I love. I love survival movies.
Yeah.
I love survival. Alive. The Martian with Matt Damon.
that was good. That was
Great
really
fucking
good.
movie. Everest. There's so many. I have a very strong connection to survival movies. They've always entertained me. I enjoy them.
127 hours.
That's a good one too. The one when he cuts off his arm, although that fucking actor is blacklisted in Hollywood right now, Franco. But altogether, Riddick is a survival movie because it's him, on this planet. He's almost dead, and he's basically getting himself, making himself badass. Gets a little dog, and it's a good story and a good. It's worth watching, and it's R-rated. It's the way it needed to be because a lot of people were upset that Chronicles of Riddick went down the PG-13 route, but then they went back to the R-rated route. That's why I'm hoping Furious stays with that formula.
Yeah.
But no, I give it a 4. It's not a perfect movie, but it's a 4 is still high for critical. I think this was a well done movie. I think it's very underrated. I don't think, like you said, you talked to a lot of your friends, they've never even fucking heard of it.
Yeah, it's
which is shocking.
weird.
Open their world. Tell them you need to go fucking see this. Watch the whole trilogy. Stu did that too. But no, I give it a 5 for enjoyment. This is a definitely 5. Most sci-fi movies give me a 5. I just love sci-fi.
Oh, yeah.
Sci-fi has always been my favorite genre when it comes to movies, and I love this movie. I love the character, and I enjoy the the tension, the sci-fi horror, and everything about it. So yeah, that's my pint reviews for that. So you said you'd rank it all 3 same movie.
Yeah,
just from
would,
memory.
I would really, just from
Give yourself
from
a
memory,
marathon tonight.
Yeah, I might. I'd probably put them pretty much right around the same.
Okay.
But, pitch black enjoyability. I'm gonna have to put it, man. It like 4.75. It's real.
That's
fucking,
really close.
It's real fucking close to
So
perfect.
you find other sci-fi's better than this one?
There's a couple.
Okay.
I'm also horrific with formulating lists in my mind and remembering shit to put on those lists.
Yeah.
So I can't really think of anything in particular right now. Aliens.
Well, the Aliens, that's a 5 out of 5 for me for
Yeah.
everything. That's my number one movie of all time.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty fucking good. I would put The Matrix at a 5 for enjoyability.
The original Matrix.
Yeah, the original. And so as far as sci-fi goes,
Okay.
just
Hey, a 4.75
above.
4.75 is still very good. I mean, seriously.
and it's just because there a couple of ways that they shot scenes at the beginning. There's like instead of you going like, oh yeah, really good, you go, huh?
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
As far as critical, 4.5. It's
See, you give a higher critical rating, but a lower enjoyment than mine. So we both have different, but they're close to it.
4.75, 4.5.
4.5 for critical.
4.5 for
I
critical.
gave it a 4 for critical.
4 3/4 for enjoyment.
I gave it a 5. Yeah, no, we're both different.
Oh, okay. I thought
That's
you
what that was.
okay,
What I was
okay,
talking
I
about.
gotcha.
Yeah, but they're close to it still. I mean,
Yeah,
you gave it a
yeah.
higher critical rating and a lower enjoyment.
Yeah.
I gave it a higher enjoyment, lower critical.
But I say critical is 4.5 because they did a bang up job on these characters.
Yeah.
Like I said with Jack, they have 3 characters that are very dynamic. They have a few characters that 2 of them just get killed off, somewhat early, and
that
not
Australian
that big
chick
of a
getting
deal.
torn up in the air.
Yeah,
yeah.
That was really well utilized to highlight Riddick's calm, cool, and collected.
Right.
And then two characters that are just kind of stagnant throughout, and they give you a nice baseline.
Yeah.
It was a good usage of your actors. It was a nice, fresh concept. I mean, everybody has the, stranded on a desert island, stranded on this planet.
Yeah.
But they did that, and they're like, monsters. And you're like, fucking cool. And it was, you kind of blend this with a little bit of a detective work, trying to figure out what the hell happened to the old geologists that were there.
Yeah.
And it gives it this unique feel.
Yeah.
So I love what they did there. And so I have to give it a little bit higher on that critical because of their somewhat unique usage of the storytelling.
So the character study you really enjoyed in this movie.
Yeah.
And
And
like I said, I'm a fan of the kid. Like, I love Johns. I love Jack. Fry, I can care less about her, but she was a good character. Especially with Vin Diesel. You got the collector, then you got the Australian chick, you got the other Australian dude. I keep saying Australian because I don't remember the characters' names. But and I think that was it. Oh, Keith David.
Yeah. Which is also weird.
Seeing
rewatching this movie and oh yeah, that's Keith David. He's a voice actor now in was it not Hell of a Boss?
A lot of video games.
In Has Been Hotel. He's he plays a cat. And he's a bartender in Has Been Hotel. It's a fantastic show. Highly recommend. It's hilarious. Very blasphemic, though. I will say that. But it is funny. But it's like, this is the most recent credit I can recall of Keith David. And he's just an asshole cat bartender demon.
Yeah.
And it's a cartoon. And then it's like, oh, yeah, that's right. He's in one of my favorite sci-fi horrors.
See, I always love Keith David for one of my favorite fight scenes in movie history with him and Roddy Piper and They Live. I don't know if you've never seen They Live, have you?
I don't think I have.
Oh, God. Okay. That might be my movie.
Oh, okay.
I might pick They Live. I think me and you're going to be doing They Live. That's a sci-fi, too, with Roddy Piper.
That sounds
good. It's
good.
a John Carpenter film, and Keith David and Roddy Piper have the best fight sequence in movie history. I'm telling you. It's a street fight between him. It is brutal. Wrestling, it is brutal. It is
look
great.
forward to it.
Oh yeah, so I think that's going to be Chase's and mine's next episode. We're going to do They Live. That's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to that. We'll get that scheduled out. I think that's going to be a good time.
Word.
All right, so I guess that's our pilot reviews. That's the end of our episode. This was so much fun. Finally, me and Chase were able to do an episode together. This was great. Please make sure to comment if you enjoyed this episode. Like it. Please press the notification, ringling that dingaling, as Stu would say. And seriously, check us out on all other episodes. We have a lot of great episodes coming out this year, and that is the end of our show. Thank you, Chase, for joining me for this. This was great.
Thank you all for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me on, a little solo kind of deal.
This was fun.
Actually, a lot of fun. I like this.
A lot of fun. So we will see you guys later.
Doses.